What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to have a look at my Game Week 29 team selection. Now we are coming off the back of what is possibly the worst game week of FPL that I have ever had. You will see from the thumbnail that I'm on 29 points as it stands. I've got 3 players to play today, so I'm recording before any matches take place on Sunday. I still have Saka, I still have Dennis, and I still have Cancelo to play. However, my red arrow has moved me from 10k to 25k in a single day of FPL. Not owning Coutinho and not owning any Chelsea defenders, especially Reece James, has been an absolute nightmare. And on top of that, I had Rafinha with captaincy. He blanked. I had Jimenez being put to the bench. I had a no-show from Luka Dean. Everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong. So we've got to move forward. We've got to look at Game Week 29, look at Game Week 30 as well, and have a look at how potentially I can rebound back and try and get as close to the top 10k as I can come Game Week 38, the end of the season. There's a lot of work to do now, but hopefully I can get somewhere near it. My team is up on screen, how it is lining up for the time being going into Game Week 29. You can see that below me I have one free transfer, but a massive 6.6 million in the bank, so a lot of money that I can go spending. Now at the moment I'm lining up with a 3-4-3, and I am having to start Jimenez, Dennis and Watkins. Watkins is okay, he's returned 2 goals in the last 2 games, but he is away against a West Ham team. Dennis, let's see how he performs today, but with Sarr out and Josh King not being in the squad again today, I'm not sure how much I want him to start this week, although Southampton did just concede 4 goals to Aston Villa. And then Jimenez, we're not sure if he's even going to get back into the starting lineup. Now I was going to start Bowen, however it looks like he's picked up a knock and is not going to be available for Game Week 29 or even Game Week 30 as well, so he was part of my plan. I didn't need to free hit in Game Week 30 because I had Bowen, who had a fixture against Tottenham. Now I still probably will be able to not free hit, but I will have to sell Bowen because I don't think he's going to be available for that game week. Initially, my first transfer plan was to do Dennis out and bring in Harry Kane. Now, that is probably still what I'm looking at because I'm not a big fan of Dennis's fixtures going forward and of Watford if Sarr is going to be out for a long time. Jimenez, though, has also caused me a bit of a headache. Now he's not getting back in that team. Odegaard as well, I'm not that sold on, but these players might just have to stay in my team until we can get past the Game Week 30 blank game week where both Arsenal and Wolves play. Dennis and Bowen are the 2 transfers I'm looking to make and to sell this week. We do also look at the likes of Wolves with Kilman and Sarr not performing as much as I really wanted them to. So let's get my team up on screen now. We'll start clicking through, have a look. At the moment, I've got 5 double game week players. I will be looking to add at least one of them coming the Game Week 29 deadline, but I also need to have a focus on Game Week 30 as well, because at the moment I have a full 10 players available, although it goes down to 9 if you do remove Bowen. So I need to have a focus on Game Week 30 as well as the upcoming double in Game Week 29. So up on screen now, we have what my team looks like. I've got a couple of yellow flags, but Bowen I think is going to have to be transferred out at some point, but I think Luka Dean will be okay. I don't need him really apart from Game Week 30. It is away at Arsenal, so if he didn't play, how many points do I really expect him to get? But I think he's the only one that I've got to keep an eye on. It looks like he'll be fine for probably the second half of Game Week 28, if not Game Week 29. I think the chances of his missing Game Week 30 now are pretty slim, but Bowen is one that I'll have to transfer out. Now, my initial plan here was to do Dennis out and bring in Harry Kane, and I have plenty of money in the bank, as we know, in order to go and do that. However, this does leave a Bowen-shaped hole in my team. So if we put Dennis back in here, I could go and get Son in and do Bowen to Son, and this is slightly cheaper. Son is slightly cheaper than Harry Kane, so it leaves me still with 2.5 million in the bank. However, then I'm going to have to look to sell Dennis, and none of the other forwards really make me want to go to them in Game Week 30 for the blank game week. So I could keep Dennis this week, but then I'd have to sell him for the blank game week. And if we look at the other forwards, we don't know who's going to be playing up front for Leeds. Leicester, the forwards that we could go there are very expensive. I could go with Ivan Toney in for Dennis and go for Son. But again, I know Dennis scored a hat-trick in Game Week 28, but it was against a Norwich side who you would expect to concede a lot of chances. So the other thing for me is that the midfielders that I could get are much more appealing than potentially those forward options. If we take both of them back out and put back in Harry Kane here, we can go in midfield and potentially go for some very nice options going into Game Week 30. Leicester are the team that I have no players from going into that game week, and Maddison, of course, is maybe the most high-profile option, but it doesn't necessarily look like he's going to be fit for that game week. The other ones that we could go for are Tielemans, but Harvey Barnes is the one that's catching my eye. He's had fitness problems, injury issues for a lot of the season, but coming back into the team now, got 5 points in game week 25 with an assist, got 6 points in game week 27 with an assist, and scored in game week 28 with a 10-point return. They do play Brentford at home, and I do think bringing Harvey Barnes in next week for Bowen, who I can bench this week, would be probably the best way for me to go. So that would be Kane in for Dennis this week and Barnes in for Bowen next week, still leaving me 0.6 million in the bank. However, there is potentially one other transfer which I could make going into game week 29, which would be a -4 along with Harry Kane, and that is selling Jose Sarr. Now, I've not been impressed by Wolves defensively at all over the past few weeks since I've brought them in. They've looked much more leaky, and I've already got Kilman, so I have some cover, but Sarr is not really doing it for me. I need to wait and see what Everton look like against Tottenham on the Monday night of game week 28, see if selling Sarr ahead of an Everton fixture is a good idea or not. But the goalkeeper I could go and get is Hugo Lloris of Tottenham. And the reason I could go and get Lloris is he's the only keeper that doubles in game week 29 and plays in game week 30 that isn't Ramsdale. But I already have triple Arsenal, so I can't go and get Ramsdale in my team. So I could do Sarr to Lloris for a -4. Now, if we look at their fixtures coming up, they do have a double in game week 29. However, it is Manchester United and Brighton away. The game week 30 fixture is pretty level with the likes of Sarr, so I just need to decide whether I think Lloris has the chance of outscoring Sarr by 4 points in game week 29 with the extra fixture, or it's worth just keeping Sarr in goal. At the moment, I think I'll probably hold off and not take the extra -4 as I just try to hold rank and shield myself after what has been an absolutely disastrous game week in game week 28. So that's probably the plan. I think Kane is going to come in this week for Dennis. That is the current thinking, unless there are injuries or something else happening in my team. Barnes will come in for Bowen going into game week 30. Potentially Lloris could come in, but then I'll probably look to wildcard going into game week 31 as well. So those are some of my first transfer plans going into game week 29. I'm pretty sure that Dennis to Harry Kane is likely to be what I want to do this week, because that will allow me to do Bowen to the likes of Harvey Barnes for the Leicester fixture against Brentford in game week 30 as well. There is a chance that I take an extra -4 somewhere else in my team, potentially to sell Bowen this week, although there is a tough fixture for Leicester against Arsenal this week. Potentially looking at a different goalkeeper, because I'm not that sold on Sarr, although he does play Everton this week as well. So those are some first transfer thoughts. Let me know your comments in the comment section down below. Hopefully the second part of game week 28 is better than the first half has been. Let me know your questions in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications for a reminder of future videos, and I'll be back again very soon.